ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day to all our active members, enthusiastic attendees, and eager learners. Despite the fact that we have different time zones and nationality, this activity unites us all. Welcome to the Institute of Global Professionals, where you can expand your knowledge, innovate, inspire, and make a difference. I'll be your host, Lersha L. Pelaez of New Era University, Quezon City, Philippines, one of the early adopters of new modalities for dealing with the new normal. We believe that sharing information and overcoming educational challenges strengthens people. We hope that you will all become global members of the IGP. Please come to the remaining webinars with us. Check in on the IGP page, make a suggestion, and pass the word forward. You can also like and comment on our webinar at any moment. Remember to tag and share your photos with your friends and community. Let us first learn more about IGP before we begin our program. IGP is a global professional institution that serves as a resource for students and the community, as well as providing holistic social work and education to develop a skilled generation. Our mission is to empower people and improve the effectiveness of training and consultation around the world. We organize our webinars, trainings, offline and online courses with the best learning platform possible to provide you with the best and most experienced speakers around the world. IGP is a social organization as well as an ISO certified training and education institute. Internationally recognized, worldwide accreditation more than 100 countries, 100 professions, and 3,000 organizations. 700 plus speakers are expected. We have made a commitment to serve you. We hope that you will join us on this long journey and all of the webinars will be beneficial to your professional development. Once again, please share, tag, and comment because your support inspires us to do better that will give greater service to all of you. Please also go to www.eduigp.com courses with a program title Why Education is Really Important for Success so you can get your certificate. And then please select Enroll Now from the drop down menu. The same website can be used to obtain certification, but you need a code to claim your certificate, and the code will only give out during our live show. Hello, Ma'am Elvie Nool Montalvo and Ma'am Emily Magadato Refugio. Thank you for watching and for visiting IGP again. To drum up your interest, you can also attend all of our free international webinars by visiting our official Facebook page, group, and YouTube channel. Every active participant will be given an ISO verified e-certificate. We are thrilled to welcome you all to this magnificent wonders of being educated. Have you ever wondered why kids are being sent to school? Why parents are really giving all the sacrifices just to let the students attend school? So these questions will be answered in this very meaningful webinar. So please join us in welcoming the IGP's 360 webinar on why education is really important for success. It will provide us the perfect opportunity to welcome today's speaker. Without further ado, let us introduce our first speaker for today. She is an ambassador and a general manager of Gallison Contractors. She is also a CEO of Ivonti Absolute and a chairperson of LOANI in Nigeria, or Ladies of All Nations International. And she is the founder of UNFLEHB International Foundation and an advocate for world peace. She is also a public speaker. Let us all welcome Ma'am Oganetega Esther Okoro or Mom Tega Okoro?
Thank you very much, Lisa. I didn't expect you to mention to call that very well. You mentioned the organetic and you were really good. You called it very well. Thank you.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
thank you for having me. I'll just go straight to my presentation.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Our audience are saying good evening to you, Mom Tega. I'm
Oh,
reading
good
all of
evening,
the
everyone.
comments.
It's my pleasure to be here with you today. Um, I'm pleased to I'm pleased to be here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Like she said already, my name is Tega Okoro, and I am from Nigeria, and I am here today to talk about why education is really important for success. Thank you to Institute of Global Professionals for inviting me. It's a pleasure and it's an honor to be here today to talk to you wonderful participants who are here watching this webinar, because without you, I wouldn't be here. Without you listening, I won't be speaking. So I want to say thank you to you all for giving me this wonderful opportunity and this honor to be here today. So before to begin, let's start off with what is education, because we can't really know the importance of education without knowing what education is or the definition of education. Education is the acquisition of knowledge, either formal or informal. Without education, you can't read, write, speak, or think critically. It is a continuous process as it starts from birth till death. Learning never stops. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn. Yes, education is something that is continuous. It starts from the home, it starts from birth, from learning how to talk, learning how to crawl, learning how to walk, learning how to talk, learning learning in school, and so much more. Education starts from the beginning, from birth, from when the child starts to eat, starts to cry. Everything is education. It's not just within when you're confined to the four corners of a room or to the classroom. That's not just education. There are three forms of education, which are formal, informal, and non-formal education. Informal education, this is the education you get from family, press, radio, cinema, church, playground, library. This informal education is the form of education you get from the family, from the morals being passed down from the parents to the children, the learning of how to speak, the learning of how to represent the family, the learning of how to walk, learning of how to talk. All that are informal education. Also, what we hear from the radio, what we hear from the television, what we hear in church, in the playground, the people, our peers, the people the children come in contact with, the people they meet, what they hear from them and they learn from them, all of that are informal education. While formal education is through school, colleges, and other educational institutions. There are different levels depending on your location. Right here in Nigeria, children begin from the kindergarten, and from the pre-nursery. From pre-nursery, they get into the nursery, and then to the primary, to the secondary, to colleges or universities. So those are the stages, and after which they have the postgraduate degrees, which are masters, PhD, and so on, depending on how much they want to learn, because learning is continuous. And these are the modes of formal education. Now, for non-formal education, this is true correspondence course. This we're doing here right now is non-formal education. Summer Institute, on-job training, radio or tele-broadcast, open university, learning through the internet, learning adult education, learning online training. All of that is non-formal education. This right here, what IGP is doing, is non-formal education. Moving on, Let me explain further what formal education is all about. Formal education or formal learning usually takes place in the premises of school, where a person may learn basic academic or trade skills. Small children often attend a nursery or kindergarten, but often formal education begins in elementary school and continues with secondary school. Post-secondary education or higher education is usually at a college or university, which may grant an academic degree. It is associated with a specific or stage and is provided under a certain set of rules and regulations. The formal education is given by specifically qualified teachers. They are supposed to be efficient in the art of instruction. It also observes strict discipline. The student and the teacher both are aware of the facts and engage themselves in the process of education. This type of education is what you get from the schools, like I've explained before. And moving on to informal education, it may be a parent teaching a child how to prepare a meal, ride a bicycle, teaching them morals. Yes, morals. And 2 days ago, I was here on this platform talking about leadership for young ones. Leadership for young ones, starting from the home. These are part of informal education. You teach them on how to be leaders, how to be self-confident, how to be self-reliant, how to speak, how to listen, how to walk, how to talk, how to ride a bicycle, how to drive a car. All of that are informal education. People can also get an informal education by reading many books from a library, surfing the net, educational websites. Google has made things very easy for us right now, that you could just pick up your phone and type in something in the search bar, and then voila, you get so many results from it. And informal education is also when you're not studying in a school and do not use any particular learning method. In this type of education, conscious efforts are not involved, because in the formal education, curriculums are made. You go through, you follow a particular curriculum in the school. You follow a particular pattern. Excuse me. You follow a particular pattern in school. They, after a specific time, when they resume, after resumption, they learn for a while, and then they take tests to find out how much these children have learned, or how much they have gotten this knowledge. And after the test, they go through another stage of learning, after which they do their final exams to assess them, to assess everything they have learned from the beginning to the end. And then you have the continuous assessment and all of that. So in formal education, they go through a particular pattern, but informal education can be done with your you could use your it depends on the particular family you come from, or it depends on the thing you're learning about. It depends on that particular topic you're learning about. Unlike formal education, informal education is not imparted by an institution such as school or college. Informal education is not given according to any fixed timetable, like I explained earlier about the test and all of that. It's not, there's no timetable, there's no curriculum. Informal education consists of experiences and actually living in the family or community. Moving on, we'll go to non-formal education. Includes adult basic education, adult literacy education, or school equivalence preparation. In non-formal education, someone who is not in school can learn literacy, other basic skills, or job skills. Notwithstanding, somebody who is in school can still be going to school and have non-formal education, because even when you're off school, when you're back home, you could surf the net, you could check for other things, maybe assignments, or just want to add to your knowledge. You could surf the net and also ask questions, or check on Institute of Global Professionals. There are platforms like this that gives knowledges free of charge. You could get knowledges, you could get information, you could get data from things like this, and upgrade your learning or upgrade your knowledge. Home education, individualized instruction such as programmed learning, distant learning, and computer assisted instruction are other possibilities. Non-formal education is imparted consciously and deliberately, systematically implemented. It should be organized for a homogeneous group. Non-formal education should be programmed to serve the needs for the identified group. This would necessitate flexibility in the design of the curriculum and the scheme of evaluation. Importance of education, it cannot be overemphasized. Importance, education is very, very important in the life of every person, in the life of every individual. Education is very important in the life of every individual, as it is the building blocks that make up our personality. Yes, you being here, wherever you are, whatever country you are, learning English, learning your native language, um learning whatsoever, whatever it is you use in communicating, whether sign languages, whether your native language or English, all of that are from education, because you gained that knowledge from learning, and learning is education. So it does not really mean that you taking up a book and writing down, that is it, that's not just education. You learning, you learning how to walk, learning how to talk, I've talked about all of that before. All of that are education. We are a representation of what we ingest, the information we get, the learning, the thing, the data we take in, whatsoever it is we're learning. We bring them all out and represent it, we replicate it in our activities, in our daily activities. Like I am referring to my talk on 2 days ago, on Tuesday, I talked about leadership, how parents, how children look up to their parents and try to replicate their character, try to replicate the way they behave, because they need their approval. So this is a form of education. They are looking up to the parents and they are trying to do what the parents are doing. So it's, they are ingesting, they are watching, they are looking, they are learning what their parents are doing, and they are replicating it. Same way you go to school and you're taught with a chalkboard, or with a computer system, or with whatsoever means they are being taught in school, and then you ingest all that information, and you work on them in your system, and then you bring them out when you're communicating. All of this I am saying now, or this I am doing now, the talk I am doing, is because of what I have learned, it's because of the knowledge, the previous knowledge I have, is previous knowledge I have about education, and the education I have had before, and that is why I can sit right here and talk to all of you from different parts of the world. So we, it settles this information that we ingest, settles in our subconscious, and is reflective in our daily activities. When we go through our daily activities, we show off this attitude, we show off. There are some things, sometimes you see some children, and when you look at them, you say, this is the child of Mr. Jack. It's not because you know that he's a child of Mr. Jack, but because you have seen something that is similar in that child to Mr. Jack, or an attitude or an attribute that this child represents that is similar to Mr. Jack. So we take in this information and then we bring it out in our daily activities. Education builds our confidence and self-esteem, gives us a pathway to achieve our set goals. Education, though positive, can be negative, yes, because there are some informations that we can come across while surfing the net, while learning, while doing whether formal, informal, or non-formal education. There are some informations that might not be right, and that is why we're supposed to learn, unlearn, and relearn, because not every information you ingest is right for your system. Just the same way a computer system works, that you detect a virus, because that virus is not supposed to be there. It will not, it's not something you need to achieve that set goal. It's not something you need to walk the path which you have set for yourself. So when you get such information and you see that this information does not work with me, you unlearn, and then you relearn a pattern which you know is preferable, a pattern which is good for you, a pattern that can work for you. As it gives us the ability, okay, education gives us the ability to build up our personality in a positive direction. So when you learn, you unlearn, and you relearn, then you can set yourself in a path which will bring you to that goal which you have set for yourself. If you scenario, which I will have to cite, or another I'll have to cite another example to explain better what I'm trying to say. If you look at our world today, if you look at the net, like I said, Google has been a very good tool for education, but there are some information on the net, on the internet, that are not good for children, that are not good for young adults, because their brain are not good enough to assimilate, to understand what is there. So this is not the right time for them to come across such knowledge or to use such knowledge. So these things are supposed to be restricted from them, but when they come across it, it takes a while to unlearn, it takes a while to get them out of it. That's where the work of a therapist or a psychologist come in, and then they have to work on them again to get them to lose those things, to get them to. We have informations, like we have a lot of things on in the world today, like drug abuse and the rest of it. So these processes of unlearning, these processes of working with them to help their psychological system, to help their psychology come back to the way it's supposed to be, and then teach them that relearning is teaching them the path they are supposed to follow. So learn, unlearn, and relearn. Relearning is teaching them, this is where you're supposed to be, this is the path you're supposed to go, this is the way you're supposed to set up your goals, and this is how you're going to achieve it. So why education is really important for success? We have talked about the definition of education. We've talked about the forms of education. We've talked about the importance of education. So now, why is education important for success? As the foundation and building block of our personality, education is important to achieve success in every sphere of life. Knowledge is food for man, and without knowledge, man cannot grow. We require knowledge to carry out our daily activities, and without the littlest knowledge, we can't move to the next stage of life. Education helps a person own their communication skills by learning how to read, write, speak, and listen. Education develops critical thinking. This is vital in teaching a person how to use logic when making decisions and interacting with people, e.g., boosting creativity, enhancing time management, and so much more. Education helps an individual to meet basic job qualifications and help them more likely to secure better jobs, which in turn reduces poverty in the world today. Education promotes gender equality and helps empower girls and women. A World Bank report found that an extra year of schooling for girls reduces teen pregnancy rates by 6% and gave women more control over how many children they have. Education reduces child mortality. According to UNESCO, a child born to a mother who can read is 50% more likely to survive past the age of 5. You see reasons. These are few reasons why education is important. So moving on, education as a tool for success. Education as a tool for success. Like I said before, now education is the building blocks. Education is the foundation. Education helps you to build your personality. Education gives you the voice which you use to speak. Without education, you can't speak. When you do not have education, when you do not have knowledge, you tend to lose your self-esteem. You tend to lose your confidence. Yes, there are a lot of people who are not exposed. It's not just about the four walls of the college. For those who do not have the finance to go into, to pay for school fees, or to do, there are a lot of free webinars like this that help you to build your knowledge, that helps you to build your personality. So when you're speaking in a group, people will wonder and they will ask, who is that? Don't you want it that way? Don't you want people to listen to you? There are some people that speak and people keep quiet and listen, not because they are enforcing, not because they are forcing them to listen, but because they are speaking sense. Because what they're speaking makes a lot of sense to the group that is listening. And without education, you wouldn't have the knowledge to pass such information that will get your correspondence or to get your audience stand still to listen to you. So it's education as a tool for success. It makes you self-reliant and gives you empowerment. Knowing how to read, write, and do arithmetic is empowering. When a person can read, they can access endless learning and information. When they can calculate expenses and make a budget, they can start a small business. So even if the person does not have formal education, to get a degree, to apply for a job, or to do a resume and to apply for a job, with informal education or non-formal education, this person can learn a skill. There are so many people who are going into do DIYs, do it yourself. So many people who are going to craft making. So many people who are going into so many vocational skills here and there, because a lot of them might even have this degree, but they along the line, why gaining this degree, they also learned this skill, and it has helped them even when they could not get the white collar job. So when they calculate, when you're able to calculate, you're able to do 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, and you could calculate your money, and you could calculate your budget, you could calculate expenses, you could know your out your income, and calculate it and know your expenditure and all of that. You could start a business. You could start something with as little as something around you. There are some people who have turned this local pap, is made from corn here in Nigeria. The way they package it, such businesses before now used to be for locals, but now with knowledge, with knowledge, a lot of people have turned this business into something bigger, into something huge. Like, they have made it look different, like it used to be. So a lot of these things, even roasted plantain that used to be a local business, is now something that has that is looking good online. Like, a lot of people, they deliver to offices, they deliver to homes. This is because they have knowledge, this is because they are exposed. So, paired with ability to form opinions, literacy makes a person become more self-reliant and gives them confidence. Stability and financial security. A person's income is often linked to his or her educational attainment. Around the world, there are more employment opportunities for those who complete high school, earn a degree, diploma or certificate, or go on to postgraduate studies. This can also mean higher salaries. Even earning getting a job with your diploma, with your certificate, with postgraduate, there are a lot of self-employed entrepreneurs that are making it big time. But do you think without knowledge, without education, they would have attained that position they are? Do you think without education they would have been able to build their businesses to the level it is? Do you think without education they will be able to stand out and represent their businesses? Do you think without education they will be able to speak to an audience? Do you think without education I will be here with you today? Do you think without education you will be able to listen to me and understand me? Education is important, and we have to know, we have to understand, we have to appreciate, and we have to work hard to make sure that education, that knowledge is given out to people who are really in need of it. And kudos to IGP and several other platforms that are working hard to give this free of charge to a lot of people. Education is the passport to the future for tomorrow. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Malcolm X says so. Also, Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world and change your world. So, pick up the tool and change your world today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mom Tega. We are very fascinated with your presentation. Your breadth of knowledge and depth of expertise were clearly beneficial to this lecture. Giving it your time really helped us to make it a success. Thank you very much, Mom. And we really agree with your presentation, especially the last quotation you shared. education will is for the better. It's not necessarily for better employment, but it's for producing better individuals, because we can be educated enough to choose what is right or wrong. So it's really helped us to realize a lot of things. So thank you so much, Mom Tega. We will see each other again for the question and answer session. Thank you very much,
Thank
Mom.
you. Thank you.
And now let's proceed with our next presenter, with our next speaker for today. She came from MD Serity Engineering. She is a CEO of Sake Energy Solutions, MD of Puno Agri and 218 Media. She runs an education trust that focuses on female African engineering students and assist them financially to study and stay in the engineering field. Let us all be engineered with knowledge. Let's welcome Mom Tabiseng Jacqueline Sarite.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Well, it's the afternoon here in South Africa. I am really honored and delighted to be part of this platform this afternoon. And I'll be taking a little bit of a different approach. And I've just learned a lot from the previous speaker. And I'm glad she highlighted a whole lot of things that needed to be said and set a foundation before I do my presentation, because then I don't have to repeat them. And I will be using, as we go throughout all the slides, I'll be using a whole lot of my personal experiences in terms of going through these examples that I've given. I'll use my personal experiences as examples to try and emphasize why and how important education is for gaining success. First of all, I said, here are the reasons why I truly believe that education is a key, a big factor to success. One of them is it gives you options. The second one, it expands the mind. And the third one, I said, it opens doors. There are a lot of reasons why I would agree with the statement that says that education is a key to success. But I'd like to focus on these three for the sake of time allocated to me today. Options. So options, when I say it gives us options, I would like to compare it to when you are in early childhood. So as a child, when I was a child, I mean between kindergarten and until I finished my middle school, when I was there, I was exposed to a variety of subjects. For example, I did art, I did music, I did maths, science, biology, geography, history. I learned three languages. Irrespective of what or who I would become later, I was exposed to everything. Whether I wanted to be a musician later, I was still exposed to studying accounting. Whether I was going to be a lawyer later, I did biology. So education exposed me to a whole lot of options. So as a young child, there were things that if I didn't have education at that early age, I would not have been exposed to. For example, let me say, apart from exposure to variety, also diversity. So that exposure of subject that I was exposed to as a young child, it provided a diversity. So I was able to take in a whole lot of diverse things at a time. For example, music, whether I was a musician or I was musical, I was exposed to it. So I knew and discovered whether I had a passion for it or I loved it or I enjoyed it. It opened up a world of possibilities. So at a early education, I knew what was possible purely because I had access to education and the type of education I had access to. So it encouraged my creativity. So in art class, I knew I could draw. Whereas if I didn't have access to art classes, I would not know what I was able to do and what I could achieve. I was able to imagine what is possible, what could be, and what could not be. And I also realized that even things that I was exposed to as a child during that time, for example, in my community, A lot of professions were policemen, nurses, doctors, a lawyer. But through education, I could be exposed, and I was able to imagine being an astronaut. Whether I had seen one, I had come across one, I knew I could become an astronaut. I could become not only a doctor, but I can become a specialist, a gynecologist, or a dentist for that matter. So it opens up a whole lot of at any stage of life, it opens options, it gives you options, and it exposes you to many other things in life. And then I would relate expanding your mind to then later on in life when I'm at university. So higher education, when I have access to higher education, then everything else that I had learned at my early childhood had now started to form the person that I want to become. I sort of collected all these learnings at early childhood, and that started to shape my identity. Who do I want to be? What kind of person am I? What do I like? What don't I like? What do I want to pursue in life? What color do I like, and why do I like that? What I'm passionate about. Do I want to as a hobby? Why do I choose that as a hobby? So everything that I did later on in life, in my youth, was all inspired by what I had learned earlier on. So the stuff that I chose to be for me, or that I did in my extramural activities, were stuff that I was exposed to at early young age. So I could see what was possible, and not only what was possible, but what I could relate into reality at this stage in my life. So I was able to make informed decisions. For example, I decided to be an engineer. And before I decided to be an engineer, when I was younger, I enjoyed technology. I enjoyed science. I enjoyed making things and seeing things work. I enjoyed building things with my hands. So I decided one day I want to be an inventor. I read a lot about inventors when I was in my early age, and I knew that a person like me invented a light bulb. A person like me invented a car. So I saw that being a possibility even for me, because I had access to the tools that empowered me to be anything that I wanted to be in life. So that gave me options, that gave me access to what I could be and make informed decision in terms of where do I want to go in life? What do I want to become in life? And what do I need to shape that up to be that person? And my personality, my character, my traits, my skills, my experiences, all of them were laying on a foundation of education. So it was a whole collective of things that I had learned in my early education that was now forming me into a person, a younger person, with knowledge that I could apply. Then I moved on and I said that it opens doors. So that I would relate to now a later stage of my life where I am now. I'm a full on adult. So it opens doors. It opens doors that, in this instance, everything that I had learned from early childhood to university days to now when I'm working, go into the workplace, work my way up the ladder in corporate until I opened my own business. So now it is experiential education. It's application of all the learnings, all the knowledge, all the wisdom, everything that I had collected and learning throughout my whole entire life until I became a full-on adult. And I do not stop learning since I started school until I finished school, because I believe education does not end when you close a book. So now I'm enabled and empowered to make better life choices. I had worked in corporate for a few years, from mining industries to chemical factories to manufacturing. And in every area, I make choices based on the knowledge that I had and the knowledge that I gained through education, whether in the classroom or off the classroom. I had affirmations of knowing what I can do, my capabilities that I was sure of because of the experience that I gained through application of what I had learned. Then also my qualifications gave me a cutting edge. It opened doors that would not have opened had I not had access to education, or had I not gained the qualifications that I had. Especially as an engineer, it's a very specific or specialized trade, where you need papers, where you need qualifications to back up what you can do and what you can apply in the field. It also gave me an added advantage, or a step ahead from anybody who had only experience but not had qualified to be an engineer. So I was enabled to make the decisions that I did when I got into corporate, and I moved up the ladder purely because then I did my postgraduates, and I specialized in certain fields. So now I became a specialist because I wanted to be a step ahead. I wanted to have a cutting edge above the rest, and also come up with things. It also enabled me, education has also enabled me to really come up with solutions that we can apply in the industry, that we can apply on a day-to-day lives. And also it enables me in my life to be able to even make a choice of leaving corporate and going into my own business. So when I started my own business 6 years ago, I took all the knowledge that I had gained throughout my whole 12 years in the field, in corporate, in the workplace, in the industry, and put that together and say, how do I this together as a package, as a product that is sellable, that I can put together and name it as a product and put the price to it and give a solution and sell it. And I took all the learnings that I got from education that I had gained, access to the knowledge that I had access to, and put that together and packaged it and opened a business. So as a consultant and also an engineer who runs projects from design phase until implementation, it was a whole collection of everything, from the person that I am, the business acumen, the everything, the financial how do I put it? How I do my financial planning, my work planning, my project management. All of that was a collection of learnings that I did over the years, that I had over the years. All the knowledge, all the books, all the researches that I had access to over the years. So truly, I can at the end say that education has assisted me and has powered me to give me options, to open doors, to expand my mind, to think beyond what I thought was not possible, to actually realize that anything that I want to be, I can be, because it is available to me, and it's just up to me to work it and become it. So as a person who's running a business now, I could say that I'm a success as a person at every area of my life, purely because of the contribution of the access that I had to education. And also, not only that, but the education that is applicable, that I'm applying in my life, education that I can even transfer to others. And that has also assisted me to find and birth the trust that they mentioned earlier on, called WISA Trust, which is an education trust that assists to empower young ladies. We have very few, in terms of numbers, we have very few ladies who are in engineering fields in South Africa. So I saw it upon myself to empower African young ladies to study engineering and stay in the fields, because a lot of them go to first year and they drop out. A lot of them can't even have access to it purely because of financial reasons. So I run a trust that empowers those young ladies, because I believe in education, and I believe as that education is a big drive to success. Not only a successful person, but a successful person will create a successful community. Successful community creates a successful nation, and therefore has a positive effect on our economy. So that is why that has always been a biggest drive of mine. So I've been running this trust for a few years to give younger children, younger girls from a young age, access to options, access to opportunities, for them to see what is possible, what can be done out there, and what also is really, really possible for themselves, as much as it is possible for others. And also what it does is it allows them to be themselves, to be creative, to have imagination, And also, what I do is once they finish studying, I do not leave it there. I mentor them into better people, into coach them to be better people in the workplace. And also, some of them, I take them on into my company to train them on hands-on experience that you otherwise would not have gotten anywhere else, so that they are ready, they are well equipped when they go out there, whether they decide to open their own companies or work for somebody else, that they are well equipped, that they have education that is everlasting, and that is something nobody can take away from you. So that's why I truly believe that education, if we can work on education on every level, it will inspire and change people into better people, and we will contribute better into our economy, into our nations, into our community, and globally. Globally, I mean, we are still in the fourth wave of of revolution, and that requires a different mindset. It requires a different type of thinking, and that can only be shaped through education, through what we put into the future generation that will be leaders of tomorrow. So that has a bearing on each and every type of industry, whether you're in politics, whether you're in science and technology, whether you're in health and sciences. Education is core to being a success in any of that field. So with that in closing, I like a quote that Albert Einstein once said. He said that education is not only learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. So you are able to think beyond what is possible. You are able to think and create. You are able to think and invent. I always said I've always wanted to be an inventor, and I'm grateful that I'm able to be that today. So through education is not only what you study in the book as facts, but also the application of it to shape up what you want to become. So, with that in saying, thank you very much for this opportunity to share all of this. But that is just what I have for today in short. And also, uh, education, I believe, is what remains long after you have left school. Is your day to day? What is it? What that inspires you on your daily life? What is it that you're transferring to those that are coming? So, thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to be with you today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Tabi Singh Jackie Sarite. You know what, Ma'am? I love engineering. It's just that I'm already inclined with teaching. So I really appreciate your purpose to assist and to help the students in the engineering field. So engineering is really a good way so the nations or economy will be a success, will
That's
succeed
right.
like that. Yes, ma'am. And I would like to highlight the one that you said. If you are educated, it will help you shape your minds. Yes, being an educated should person should not only stop with our diploma or with our papers that will prove that we are all educated, but the way we think, the way we
Mhm.
handle things, it will really shape us if we are educated. Thank you so much, ma'am. Your lecture is incredibly informative and interesting.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am. We will see each other again for the question and answer later.
Thank you.
And now it's time for a quiz competition. Everyone is encouraged to join for us to be more educated. Everyone, please join using slido.com. So for the quiz competition, just type www.slido.com with the code QUIZIGP and the link is already posted in the comment box. Hello, Hi again, everyone. Everyone is invited to join for our quiz competition. It looks like we already have our players on the screen. Stephanie Joy, Taipan, Veneranda Jordan, Lamberto Pilatan, Melinda Civil Hispano, Marites Rivera, Ma'am Elvina Montalvo, how are you? Jamaline Rivera, Anna Marie Mercado, Teacher Jan Janiel Bautista, are you still there? You can also join. Ma'am Leia Facunla, Jaylord Amolo, Veneranda Jordan. Everyone is invited to join. And Daylor Cabase, thank you, Ma'am Seretti, for a knowledgeable input. And thank you also for staying so that we can all be educated despite this pandemic. Everyone is invited to join. From Marivic Villanueva, feed your skills, let's learn and grow together. Absolutely. This is the main purpose. That's why IGP is providing free international webinar like this. So we can grow together. Looks like we already have a lot of players. Oh, we still have Sheila Garcia. Hello, teacher Sheila Garcia. Didit Argaza, Aisha Argete, Abilene Manalo, Murmuray Blanza, Elijah Maliza, Windy Lanes, Rona May Sipayan, Ma'am Cristina Del Rosario, Rodolfo Almania. Joining the quiz is proving that we all have the courage to be educated through this assessment. Let's just enjoy the quiz. Mika Jomel, hello. Enelita Kitor Villanueva, Elijah Maliza Ashok Kumar Adhikari, Sir Tufer, Aubrey Casoko, and Sherlyn Callejo, Elias Austria, and Joy Likatan. So for our quiz, we have 10 questions to be answered. Thank you for always supporting IGP by attending the webinar. Hello also Ka Marisa Gumapo. How are you? And Ma'am Julie Valencia, Egla Burberry, just type www.slido.com and then click join with the code quiz IGP. Oh, that is so sad that we cannot join. Maybe, ma'am, we can restart your browser because we already have players. Vicky Nardo, Carla Benito, Julia Dioquino. Hello. Welcome, Ma'am Julie Valencia, and thank you for having for attending. And first question, why is investment in education important? Looks like we already have two choices. Why is investment in education important? The correct answer is 62% answer directly correlates to higher wages. And absolutely, that's the correct answer. Now let's proceed with the second question. Ana Marie Joy Mercado is on top. Next question. Why are academic values important for your college success? First, values do not help you to set the right academic career priorities And next, to realize the choices you make affect your academic success. 98% answered the second choice, to realize the choices that will affect your academic success. And you are all correct, the 98%. Thank you. Good evening to Sir Paul Cypress. You're correct to Mom Julie and Camarisa Gumabo. Mom Ginalyn Resurrection is already on top. But all the leaderboard will change, and it will vary depends on the scores after taking the 10 questions. We will now proceed to the next question. Why is a mission statement important? First, it establishes the purpose and values of an institution, or it shows the institution's compulsion to do things perfectly. 100% answered the purpose and values of an institution. Why is a mission statement important? 100% got it correct. Yay! Congratulations, everyone. We got it all correct, include me, though I did not answer. Now let's proceed with the next question. Who's in the leaderboard? Let us see who's in the leaderboard. Ma'am Ginaline Resurrection is still on top one. We have two, Ma'am Ginaline. And next question, a key quality of success for an entrepreneur is first letting someone else manage the project, or letter B, being innovative. Thank you for all the participants who also trying to answer in the chat box. We have Shaina Areglo, Daylor Cabase, Kamarisa Gumabong, 98% answered being innovative. So it's like an experiential learning or learning by doing. So if you're already there, of course, you can learn it by yourself. And we really need to be innovative so we can be a successful entrepreneurs. Ma'am Ana Marie Joy A. Mercado is already on top. Congratulations. Now let's proceed with the next question. Blank happiness is so important for every one of us. No article or the. What will be your answer, participants? 65% answered that, and 35% answered no article. Answered reveal what will be the answer. No article happiness is so important for every one of us. So that's the correct answer. All right, now let's check who's in the leaderboard. Ma'am Ginaline Resurrection is already in the leaderboard as top one. Now let's proceed for the number six. Why is it important to develop a growth mindset while in college? A fixed mindset is only for younger children, or a growth mindset allow us for more flexibility to see new ideas. 100% answered. Letter B, a growth mindset allows for more flexibility to see new ideas, and we can guarantee that we are correct. Growth mindset is not only applicable for college, but of course, among all the educators, and everyone should have the growth mindset. All right, now let's proceed with the next question. Anna Marie Joy Mercado is on top. Next question. In planning coursework, it is important to select only courses that are linked or select courses based on career and educational goals. Thank you for all the answers. Ma'am Julie, Julieta Mendiola, Ma'am Marisa, Daylor Cabez, Jackie Lu, Yana Orbe, Shaina Areglo. 95% answered we should select courses based on career and educational goals. And congratulations, you are all correct. Of course, it should be based on career and educational goals. Anna Marie Joy A. Mercado is on top. Now we will be proceeding with the next question. While in a job interview, it is important to listen to all questions and put emphasis on who you know. So during the interview, what are the things that we should remember? Is it letter A or letter B? 88% answered we should listen to all the questions. And we are all correct. I keep on including myself. You are all correct. And we will now proceed to the next two questions. And Ma'am Ginaline Resurrection is still on top. Why is a career pathway an important part of a career plan? A. Individuals can explore career clusters of interest to them. And B. Skills have to be learned for only one occupation. A or B? 98% answered the letter A. Individuals can explore career clusters of interest to them. And thank you for all of you who got it correct. Mom Gina Lynn Resurrection is still on top. And we will now proceed to the last question. Why is diversification important in investments? A. Spread out risk, or B. Put all money into stocks. A or B? 78% answered spread out risk, and a 22% answered the letter B. So what will be the correct answer? Why is diversification? Diversification is important as it will spread out risk. Congratulations to all the participants. Here's the top 10. And of course, the top 10, the quiz competition winners will all receive certificate. The top 10. So here on stage, the top 10 for the quiz competition for today. So we have the fourth place, Leia Saria, third place, Lamberto Pilatan Jr., and we have two, Ma'am Ginaline for second place, and for the first place, Ma'am Ginaline Resurrection. Congratulations to all. Yes, from Ma'am Anna Marie Joy Alcance saying congratulations to all. Yes. A round of applause to everyone who participated. And for the next part of our webinar, it's none other than the question and answer portion. So all of you are invited to type your answers in the comment box, and please make sure to address the speaker's name, and we will try to read all of your questions. Ma'am Vicky Nardo, Gemaline Rivera, Alex Javier Alvarez, Rodolfo Alemania Jr. Thank you for being on top 10. Thank you for all your congratulatory wishes. Micah Jomel Aguinaldo, Marisa Gumabong, Ma'am Julie Valencia, Cherry Yamaguchi, Cherry Toro Toro. And now we will proceed with a question and answer session. All of you are invited to stay so you can ask questions to our speakers. Hi again, Mom Tabiseng, Jacqueline, and Mom Tega Okoro.
Hello, we're happy to be back.
Yes, we're glad to be back. Finally, let's have again Mom Tabiseng and Mom Tega Okoro. So, while there are no questions, would you like to say something to our lovely audience who stayed because they really learned a lot from you? Let us start with Mom Tabiseng.
Okay, yeah, I'd just like to add that education is the best investment that has is an investment that has the best interest, purely because once you learn something or you know how to do something or you're exposed to a certain type of or a body of knowledge, that can never leave you. You take that everywhere with you, and it shapes up how you approach things in life at any level of your life, whether you're a student or you're an engineer or whatever profession that you're in, or you're a business person, or you're whatever you're just a mom. You make better informed decision based on the knowledge that you have access to. So let's invest in education, not only in ourselves, but in the communities, in our where we stay, in our backgrounds. We need to invest. Let's make it an investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you. It's really an inspiration. Yes, it's a worth investment as no one will take it away from you if you're
Absolutely.
already
Yes.
educated.
Yes.
How about Mom Tega? Would you like to say something to our audience? While we're waiting for their questions, they're not
Okay.
typing their questions yet.
Um, you can hear me now, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, Mom, you loud and
Okay.
clear.
Okay. In addition to what I have said before, and I would want to say that Education is something that never ends. Even if you don't have the finance to go for formal education, to go for postgraduate degree, master's, PhD, or you could do any of the forms of education that are available to you free of charge, just like IGP and so many other platforms that are organizing free education. And also, just like Madam Tabiseng, I don't want to spoil your name. Just like she's Madam Tabiseng's organization is doing for girls or ladies who want to study engineering and giving them the opportunity free of charge. That is how my organization, we are working hard to give people skills acquisition. Like we're teaching women and young youths how to gain skills, because many people today are relying on white collar job, which is not readily available for everyone. So even if you don't have that, if you don't have the office job, if you don't have the 9 to 5, you could learn a skill. It's still part of education. Learn a skill and use that to uplift yourself. You could contact any one of all these organizations. My organization is UNLFLEHP, that's United for Love, Empowerment, Hope, and Peace, because we are united and we love you and will help you get empowered. We'll give you hope and peace for the world. So that is what we do. And also, Madam Tabiseng's organization, which is helping people who want to become engineers. There are so many other organizations. The Ladies of All Nation International is another organization that is working hard with other organizations to empower people. So there are a lot of them that are readily available to you to learn skills and to get education free of charge. So do not be limited, do not limit yourself, but use the things that are available to you, use the opportunities that are available to you to make your life a better one and to make the world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mom Tega. Education really empowers the world. It's a powerful weapon. So education is not really basing on academic. It's more sometimes, not sometimes, but we can include skills. The one that Mom Tega is saying a while ago, skills is also part
Yes.
of being educated. And there are different platforms right now, especially it's online. Everything you can Google online, different activities and different webinars that is offered free, and everyone is free to join also. So there are lots of reason why we should continue studying and being educated. There are no questions. They're not yet typed. Oh, we already have the first question. Yay to our both speakers. How do we ensure students are in on the conversation regarding success? So let us start with Ma'am Tapiseng.
How do you ensure students are in? Okay, for example, I have, because I'm involved in certain programs that involve students, it is important to create platforms where they can get involved in. I know in my younger days as a student, I didn't have access to such information like this that we're having today. So it is up to us to reach out to actually create platforms where students can actively get involved in, where we can inspire them and say, look, I've been where you've been. I've been a student, and today I'm here, and you can be one as well. So it's us creating programs that go to them, and also platforms that are available online. Like we're saying now, there's access to information everywhere. So there is really no excuse why they can't have access, and it's free. It's at their fingertips. So they can engage in such platforms online. We can also create as contributors to this movement and initiative of creating success through education, create platforms and face-to-face opportunities and programs to go to schools. I've done it before. I've gone to high schools. I've gone to at university levels as well, and they attend. They come in numbers because they have never had an opportunity to sit in initiatives like this and listen and be inspired on how to drive this towards success and use this to their own advantage.
Thank you so much, ma'am. How about Ma'am Tega? How do we ensure students are in on the conversation regarding success?
Okay, success, first of all, we should know what success is all about. Success isn't all about having all the money in the account or having all the money in the world. That isn't success. Success is when you're fulfilled. So, as a student, if you want to, as a student, if you want to be successful, then you have to determine what is it that I want to do? What goal am I setting for myself that will make me fulfilled, that will give me that peace, that will give me that confidence that I am proud of myself or proud of the person that I have become. So that is the part through which they could follow. And there are a lot of, just like Madam Tabiseng said, there are a lot of platforms now which were not available before, that are available now for students to build up themselves, to build up their individualism, to build up their personality. So make good use of these opportunities, make good use of these free platforms, and use it to build your personality. You don't get all knowledge from the classroom. So whatever it is you want to be, whatever you've told yourself that you want to be, work hard and keep working and work smart too. It's not only by working hard, because there are some people who work smart and they get fulfilled, while those working hard haven't gotten to their destination, but those working smart have gotten to their destination. So apart from working hard, work smart and use your knowledge, use your brains, use your understanding, and with your hard work and with your concentration and with your passion, you get to your set goal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Tabising and Ma'am Tega. For the next question to Ma'am Tega, have you unlearned something regarding education? What are those and how did you do it? Have you unlearned something?
Thank you, Mika. In part of education, I don't think there's anything I have unlearned, because every most of the things I've learned, I learned them consciously. Like, is what I want to learn. So I don't think there's no particular thing that I have unlearned. But in life, apart from that, said, okay, what are those and how did you do it? Apart from me, or apart from the part of education, like I said during my presentation, if you want to do something, or if you're learning, if you've learned something and you see that that thing is not what will take you to your final destination, then you have to work on yourself. There's something I call your peace place. That's probably when you're all alone. Some people, they get it, they get this peace place in nature. Me, I get it when I'm singing. So when I'm singing, or I'm in a quiet environment just by myself, I think, and I kind of bring back memories and think about the things that I have done, probably in the week or in the month, and then decide on those that I really don't want to delve into again. Okay, let me use a particular example. I was into network marketing, but there are some people that have succeeded in that part, but everybody does not have to follow a particular path to make success. So I was so focused on that, but it wasn't my path. What I really have passion for was empowerment, public speaking, teaching. So this is what I have passion for. So working on that part, it was wrong for me. So I had to unwind. I have to unlearn. I have to start using things that I have learned there. Instead of using them for that part, I had to use them for my passion. I don't know if you're getting it, but I had to take information from that I have learned, some things that I have learned from that, which is not my part. Not that it's not, if I decide to really put all of me into it, I wouldn't get it, but it's not something that I should concentrate on as my main target. It should be a side hustle, not a main business. So I had to take it and put it into my main business, which is my passion and is working for me. So that is what I mean by unlearning. You rewind and take bits from what you have put together. Throw away the shaft. You have to sieve it and decide on which one you want to take and which one you don't want to take, and move ahead with the important ones and the ones that will make you a better person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom Tega. Passion really is working a lot, especially when we want to learn something. So, from Mom Sandria Umpay to both speakers, what can you say about people who are not finished their education career but they become successful now? So let's start with Ma'am Tabi Singh.
Okay, that's a very good question. When you say finish education career, you can never finish education career. Education career is a progressive thing. So when you're at it, let's say you're at, if you have to put it at to and equate it to level 1 to level 10 as finishing your education career. Let's say you're at level 4. So the education and the knowledge that you have received up to level 4, that's the knowledge that you're able to apply and use to achieve that amount of success. For example, if success for you is becoming a professional doctor, getting to level year 1 of medical school will not give you the full qualification to become a medical doctor. So no, you will not be a successful doctor, but maybe you'll become a successful nurse. So it depends what are you trying to achieve and what knowledge and what education you need to achieve it, or to achieve what you for you is success. So I say continue learning, always be on an education path to try and achieve and attain the maximum level of what you call success. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Tabi Singh. How about Ma'am Tega?
Okay, thank you, Sandria, for that question. Um, you talked about those that haven't finished their education. If I understand you perfectly, you're trying to talk about those who stopped their education, maybe in the secondary education or the primary education. Like I said before, I'm an advocate for skills acquisition. While going through school, I am sure that these people must have learned something, even in the primary session. I talked in my presentation, I said, if you know 1 plus 1 is 2 and you know 2 plus 2 is 4, you could use that as an understanding to understand that 20 plus 20 is 40. And you could use that as a basic understanding to know that 50 plus 50 is 100. So do not limit yourself with the education you have. And even if your education, you did not get to the highest, the little one that you have, I am sure that is what these people might have put into their career and they have become successful. So this, you said, what can you say about people who have not finished their education career but they become successful? They have used the information they have, they have used the education they have, and I say kudos to them, because they did not let their unfinished education, or they did not let their position when it comes to knowledge limit them. They went beyond their boundaries. I always say that an hurdle is a stepping stone to your next stage. So that hurdle of not completing your education, you can use it as a stepping stone to move to the next stage in life. So they use their information, they use the knowledge, they gathered it together, they threw away the bad ones and they gathered the good ones and they used it to become successful. So congratulations to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Tega and Ma'am Tabi Singh. Yes, education also never stops, right, Mom? Even though we're already teachers or we're already doctors, trainings and seminars are always there. So, Sir Jeremy Melante, how can you assure that if we gain education, we will be successful? I just added, how can we assure that being educated will help us to be successful? Ma'am Tabi Seng?
Okay. Jeremy, you'll have to first define what is success for you. And for you to attain that kind of success, what is it that you need or require? What kind of qualifications or what knowledge or what tools do you require for you to get there? I'll give an example again of being a medical doctor. If being a professional is success for you, then what is it that you need? What tools, what qualifications, what skills do you require to achieve what is success to you? What success looks like to you? Then, when you work towards it, then once you've reached it, yes, definitely you're successful. So, first define what is success for you. What is it that you need to get to it? And then work towards that. Once you reach that through education, through qualifications, through skills, then you can say, I am successful.
Thank you for that, ma'am. That made me realize or reflect my own definition of success too. Because we have our own definition and different
Definition of success. Yes.
success.
Mm,
Being happy with the job that you have right now can, for me, I'm you're also a successful if you're happy and fulfilled
mm,
every time you do your job for the day. So we really have a different preference when it comes to being successful.
mm.
I think Mom Tega has some connection problem. So maybe we can proceed to the next question while we're waiting
Can
for
you hear me?
Mom Tega. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So what was the question? Said what how would you know you'll be successful, right?
Yes,
Yes.
mom. Yes, mom. Thank you.
Okay, like I said, being successful isn't about all the money you have in your account. And like Tabi Seng said, it's not you have to know the definition of success and know what success means to you. So for me, success is when being successful is when you're fulfilled, or being successful is when you have hit your target or your goals. You might not, goals are continual, that is the truth. You can be successful today, but you set another goal for 5 years. Say, okay, 5 years time from now, I want to see myself in this position, or 10 years time from now, I want to see myself in that position. And when at the end of that 5 years, you see yourself in that position, then you are successful. If at the end of 10 years you see yourself in that position, then you are not successful. So success is when you're fulfilled.
Hello, Mom Tega. Mom Tega. I think we have some internet issues from Mom Tega. Alright, so I think Ma'am Tega is really highlighting that we should know first. Well, both of our speakers is really emphasizing that we should know our own definition of success first. Being success itself should be defined by our own selves because we're the one who appreciate ourselves. So we can be successful if we are happy with this, with the one that with our job, with our commitments, with our responsibility. So Ma'am Tega is also saying that having a lot of money means successful, or having a popularity means successful. It depends on how you end your day. If you're fulfilled, if you help other, if you inspired others. For me, that's my own definition of success. But again, from our speakers, we should know our passion first. We should know our own reason of success first. Then eventually, we can think of many ways so we can make our life successful with the help of education. And I would like to say that the capacity to learn is a gift. This is from Brian Herbert. The ability to learn is a skill, and the willingness to learn is a choice. So we should always be willing to learn. And for that, Ma'am Tabi Seng Jackie Sarita and Ma'am Tega Okoro really help us realize a lot of things that will help us choose that we should learn from everything, from something. Education is free, learning is free, and learning should never stop. And with that, Team IGP, cannot thank you enough, Ma'am Tabiseng and Ma'am Tega, for the hours that you spend to make this webinar a success. You are the teams through MVP. MVP. Thank you very much, Ma'am
Thank
Tabiseng.
you. Thank
Happy,
you. Thank you so much.
really happy. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Ma'am
All right.
Tega and
Thank
Ma'am
you.
Tabiseng. See you next time for the next
Thank you.
webinar of IGP. We hope to be with you again.
Thank
A
you.
round
We're
of
looking
applause
forward
to
to
our
it.
great speakers for the day. And now for the certification process, remember that you should be enrolled with the www.eduigp.com with with the program name Why Education is Really Important for Success. And of course, the code is already posted in the screen, IGP3864. So remember, without a code, no one is eligible for certificates. With the code, you can claim your certificate anytime. So, how will education benefit you in the future? Remember, you can gain knowledge skills, and experience that will benefit you in your career and in your life in general. Furthermore, by improving your communication and problem solving skills while achieving your goals, it can boost your confidence and it can be a stepping stone so you can be successful when it comes to education. So think of your passion first, think of your definition of success first, and the steps and ways are already there. You just need to figure out what to do. But remember, you should be more confident in doing this. February 17, certificate code required. Today's program name: Why Education is Really Important for Success. So please don't forget the code is IGP3864. Thank you, Sir AK Adhikari, for posting the code in the comment box. And the certification link is also posted in the comment. Thank you for the Institute of Global Professionals. And thank you also, Kamarisa Gumabong. So we're really hoping that all of you gained learnings. We are all educated in attending this webinar. So, dear aspirants of knowledge, thank you for joining us today. Please leave a review, check in, and recommend on our page, and spread the word to your friends and community. Remember to claim your e certificate from our website, which is listed below. We look forward to seeing you all again at the upcoming IGP webinars. It's audiences like you that make presentations awesome. Thank you very much for your unwavering attention throughout this activity. And for the team IGP, congratulations too, and thank you for your patience. Once again, I am Lursha L. Pelaez from New Era University, Quezon City, Philippines, saying goodbye and thank you for joining us. Have a great day ahead, and remember, learning should never stop. Goodbye, everyone.